Welcome to Chad Hates Carbs. Today we're going to do some food hacks because I made these the other day and they were kind of cool. Not really standard, but these are coconut pancakes. So I felt like eating something coconutty and kind of sweet, but it was lunchtime and I was making stuff with eggs, because I would always do that. And I thought, hey, let's make them into pancakes. And then let's get some coconut, and it just kind of devolved from there. So this is just wild guessing, basically. This is courtesy of my father, who was very much a let's mess around with stuff in the kitchen and see what works. Anyway, even if it's not fantastic, it's edible. So, you know, that was kind of the catchphrase. Especially, you know, once you've been through college and had to eat, you know, ramen noodles for weeks at a time, you can pretty much live on anything. So we're going to do 4 eggs, because obviously if it's egg heavy, that's good. Eggs are a good basis for low carb living. There's tons of things about egg fasts and whatnot. Obviously this is not something that's valid for an egg fast, because we're going to put other stuff in there, but it does have a lot of eggs, so you get some of the benefits of the eggs, just not the only egg benefits. So we're going to do that. In this recipe, I tried doing this with actually using coconut flour. Coconut flour really did not work well because it was too dry, and it basically sucked all of the moisture out of the mixture. So I didn't have any luck with coconut flour. So we're going to use almond flour. We're going to put I don't know, about that much in there, maybe a little more. Yeah, let's do a little more. All right, so that's probably a cup-ish. Again, this is food hack time. This is not time for measurements. We're going to put in some erythritol for sweetener. I don't know, maybe a quarter cup-ish. Something like a quarter cup. And then we're going to put in a little bit of baking powder. When I made this last time, I did not put in any baking powder. It was still fine, but let's see. We're going to put in, I don't know, maybe a teaspoon-ish. Looks like about a teaspoon. And then we're going to put in a splash of heavy cream for a little bit more liquid. That's maybe a quarter cup. And then we're going to put in some coconut. Actual coconut, maybe, I don't know, 2/3 of a cup. I want to keep the ratio pretty high because I'm going for coconut flavor. I am going to go ahead, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm going to get a little bit of vanilla extract because I'm a fan of vanilla flavor, and I think it works well with, I don't know, that's probably, what, half a teaspoon maybe? We're going to mix that in, and then I am going to take coconut oil, and I'm just going to shave some out of here. Coconut oil is definitely some of the weirdest stuff ever, because in the summertime this is liquid, and in the winter time it is not, because the melting point is like 75 degrees or something. So it's kind of strange. So we're gonna, my wife uses this in her beauty regimen, which is weird because I'm having to worry about something both for grocery purposes and for wiping on your face or something. I don't do that. Anyway, so that's some coconut oil. So now we're gonna mix that up. I probably should have mixed up the eggs first, but I'm kind of a mess. So anyway, I need to get this phone call. Apologize for that. And it turns out I didn't need to get that phone call after all. It was not the shop, it was someone from account services, which we all know is just people trying to spam you. So anyway. Alrighty. This is definitely thicker than last time. So let's Get this stuff out of here. Mostly I just use this for the egg yolks. I guess I could probably just use a spatula for that, but I did not. So let's go keep this coming now. One thing to note, because I'm using the ooh, I forgot something. Because I'm using the coconut definitely makes this far less like a regular pancake batter. It's not very runny at all. I did forget, though, that last time, and I really liked it, I used chia. I'm a huge fan of chia seeds, and they're far more ubiquitous now than they were back when I started on the low carb thing. I put in, I don't know, quarter cup maybe, probably less than that, maybe a couple, 3 tablespoons. Anyway, I don't know, about that many. It gives it like a little bit of extra crunch, and because you're expecting it to be crunchy, my kids hate it when I put chia in waffles, but because you're expecting these to be kind of crunchy because it's got the, because it has the coconut in it, I think it's cool. I really like it, adding that to it. But you can see, this is not really like a pancake batter in general, it's more of a kind of a pasty kind of thing. And obviously you could water it down or whatever. I don't know, why not? This is food hack day. I'll put in about a quarter cup of water, mix it up, we'll see what happens. This is what I had to do when I made the stuff with the coconut flour. I just had to keep adding water and adding water and adding, and it was a giant mess. So yeah, this is definitely more batter-like because it's runnier. Let's go ahead and keep it coming. And the chia will expand. That's the other thing. When you eat stuff with chia in it, you are full for a long time. It's fantastic to add to stuff like this because a lot of times, with a lot of other foods, you're going to get hungry a couple hours later. With chia, it actually expands. Like if I let this sit, the chia will actually kind of become like a gelatin. Basically, it like expands, and it's pretty intense. But I really like chia from the standpoint of appetite suppression and whatnot. It's kind of like oatmeal, but cooler, I guess. Okay, so I've got this set at 6 on my, which is like medium kind of heat, on my skillet here, and I'm just going to dump it out and get one going. You don't want to get it too big, so you can't flip it, and I think I may have I'm right at the edge of the can I flip this or not mode. Unfortunately, looks like my coconut oil did not. I was hoping that mixing it with the whisk was going to take care of some of the issues with that, but it looks like it didn't. So next time, I'll have to remember this. I did it last time. Last time I did it, I put coconut oil in, but I melted it first in the microwave. This time I didn't, thinking that perhaps with the whisk I was getting it cut up small enough. I don't think I did, because I think I saw a chunk in here. That's actually that's the coconut oil. So it didn't get blended as well as I had hoped. So that's unfortunate. But next time I'll know. That's what this whole hacking thing is. Trying stuff and seeing if it works. So we need to let this cook for, I don't know, about a minute. Till it gets, you want to wait till it kind of gets a little bit dry around the edges. And then you can flip it. Yeah. It's still wet around the edge, you can see, because some of the batter came off on the back of the spatula. Generally, that's another way you can test. With the old method of cooking waffles and pancakes, and not waffles, but pancakes, you could check with bubbles. But a lot of times with this type of stuff, you can't really use the bubbles to test as much because it just cooks totally differently, which is, neither here nor there, but just something to keep an eye on. This also has a tendency to brown more than regular, I guess, regular pancakes. There we go. It's starting to get there. The edges are dry now, but it's still a little bit loose in the center. So I got to let it set up a little bit more. So I think what I'm going to have to do is turn it down just a bit, because I think otherwise we're going to burn. This one does, these do have a tendency, like I was starting to say, to get darker than regular pancakes and waffles. And I'm not exactly sure why that is. I'm assuming that the coconut affects it in terms of the way that it transfers heat and stuff. Yeah, so that center is still not very solid. It's unfortunate. Because I think if I increase the heat, there's more of a chance that it's going to burn the outside while still leaving the inside uncooked. Well, I guess it wouldn't be uncooked, but the outside would burn fast enough that it couldn't transmit the heat to the middle. I guess the other thing I could do would be to try to cover it so that it's keeping the heat down inside of the... Alright, we're just going to try to flip this. There we go. And you can see it's definitely darker than most. But it did rise pretty good, and it's not super gummy. Yeah, I think I'll go ahead and leave it a little bit cooler. We'll take it down to a 4 and see how that turns out. Now we got to get the toppings. Toppings are very important. Toppings for pancakes like this, there's only one answer. Peanut butter. So we're going to do peanut butter and sugar-free syrup. It's my favorite toppings for pancakes. Butter's alright, peanut butter's way better. So we'll do that. Oops, I guess I need a fork. Once we get this going. And like now I can see the center is definitely rising more. Than the last time I did it, because last time I did not put any baking powder in at all. It was more, I don't really know how to explain it, because it wasn't dense, but there wasn't as much of a lightness to it. This one definitely has a lot more lightness. You can see there's air pockets and stuff in there. I'm going to let it cook for just a little bit longer. It still has a little bit of that looseness to the internals. So we'll see what this ends up as. But no, ever since I was a kid, I've always played around with pancakes. When I was growing up, we used to make pancakes. My parents had a very simple pancake recipe. It was like a cup of flour, 1 egg, and a cup of water. I don't remember exactly. And then 1 tablespoon is baking powder. Baking powder. So it was like 1, 1, 1, 1 or something like that. So it was really simple for us kids to figure out. So even from the time we were really little, we were making pancakes on Saturday morning. And we'd always put secret ingredients in them, and it was a good time. So coming up with a new pancake recipe without actually measuring anything, that's right up my alley. So anyway, again, you can see it's kind of feathery. It's got a lot of air pockets and stuff. That's obviously the baking powder taking care of that for us. So it's definitely not like super dense as far as that goes. I'm going to go ahead and fix this one up and we can eat it, and then I'll make myself the rest of them. This will probably make a good 3 or 4 pancakes easy that are pretty good size, but I always like to put the hot side, which generally is the one that has all the pockets and stuff, on the top, because then when I put my peanut butter in, yes, this is a lot of peanut butter. I love peanut butter. We'll see, normally what I do is then turn around and put another pancake on top of this one, and then put the syrup on top of that one, but we'll do it like this. So now it's all melty. There's nothing better than melty peanut butter. Alright, we'll just do that. our syrup on there. We'll try this out. I also like peanut butter because you can do this. You can mix it up, end up with kind of peanut buttery syrup. It's a good time. Alright, so let's see how this is. Okay. From the side here, it actually did cook all the way through, which is obviously a good thing. You can see the little bits of coconut in there. That's a good time. That is a good time. I love coconut. I love peanut butter. So this, rather than waiting around for a cake to bake or anything else like that, you can just have your coconut cake lunch or breakfast. But because I don't eat breakfast anymore for intermittent fasting purposes, this is a great lunch. That's a good time. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. I'm gonna finish eating this and make myself another couple more. Have a good day, guys.